today we're taking a deep dive into Ridge Racer 64.
Ooh, Ridge Racer 64.
You know, that N64 classic that brought those sweet, sweet arcade vibes right to your living room?
I remember that one.
So to really appreciate Ridge Racer 64, we need to rewind back to the mid-90s for a sec.
Okay, back in time we go.
The PlayStation was king, especially when it came to racing games.
Yeah, the PlayStation was killing it back then.
And for a lot of folks, the original Ridge Racer was like a revelation. Like, whoa, this is arcade quality racing. At home, mind blown.
It was pretty revolutionary for its time, for sure.
So fast forward a few years, and everyone's hyped for a Nintendo 64 version.
Makes sense, but could the N64, with its cartridges and all?
Yeah, could it really handle that PlayStation level of graphical goodness? That's the big question.
Well, from what I've read, the developers worked some serious magic with that N64 hardware, pushing it to its absolute limit.
Really squeezing it for all it was worth.
Oh yeah. Reviewers were blown away by the visuals, especially the lighting effects.
Lighting effects on the N64, huh?
Right. One reviewer even gushed about driving through tunnels and seeing the light reflecting off your car. They're like, this is a visual treat and a rare sight on the N64.
Wow, so we're talking N64 going head-to-head with those PlayStation CDs in the graphics department?
Seems that way. They really pulled it off.
Pretty impressive. But what about the music? Ridge Racer is known for those high-energy tracks.
Right, that iconic soundtrack.
Did that translate well to the N64's sound capabilities?
That's a good question. And while it wasn't CD quality, obviously the music consistently gets praise for capturing that Ridge Racer vibe.
Yeah.
Keeping the energy high during races, setting the mood.
So they nailed the atmosphere, even with some technical limitations. Okay, we've got the looks, we've got the sound, but let's get down to brass tacks here. How did Ridge Racer 64 actually feel to play?
Okay, so if you're a hardcore simulation fan, like super realistic racing, this one might not be for you.
Got it.
Ridge Racer 64 leans hard into that arcade-style gameplay the series is known for.
Right. Arcade action.
It's all about speed, tight cornering, and nailing those power slides.
Now we're talking. Power sliding, that's the signature Ridge Racer move.
It's a Ridge Racer staple.
Did they stick with the classic formula for the N64 version or try anything new?
Actually, they did both. You've got your classic Ridge Racer style, then you got the Ridge Racer Revolution style, and then they threw in a brand new style just for this game. The RR64 slide.
Ooh, a new slide style. Fancy.
Yeah, and from what I've read, this RR64 slide is where things get wild. We're talking full 360-degree spins while keeping your speed up.
Wait, 360 spins and you don't lose speed?
You got it.
Whoa, that sounds like a recipe for disaster or pure awesomeness, depending on how they pulled it off.
Well, the reviewers said there's definitely a learning curve. Mastering the timing takes practice.
Makes sense. It sounds pretty tricky.
It is, but once you nail it, super satisfying apparently. It adds a whole new level of strategy to the game.
So you can't just mash the gas and hope for the best, huh?
Nope. You gotta think about those power slides, how you use them to navigate the tracks.
And speaking of tracks, what about the tracks themselves?
Oh, they didn't just try to recreate that classic Ridge Racer feel. They went all out. They brought back tracks from the original Ridge Racer and Ridge Racer Revolution. Straight up nostalgia fuel.
Nice. So fans of the series got to revisit those classic courses on the N64.
Yeah, exactly. It was a big hit with the fans.
I bet. But they didn't just stop at the classics, did they?
Nope, they didn't. They even designed a brand new track just for the N64 version.
A brand new track? Tell me more.
They really pushed the graphical limits with this one. And it was designed to really make players use all those different power sliding techniques.
Sounds like they were determined to show the PlayStation what the N64 could do.
Oh yeah, they were definitely making a statement.
Love it. Okay, last thing before we move on. 25 cars in this game. That's a lot for an N64 racer.
Right, 25 cars, and each one handles differently, different stats. Some reviewers even said certain cars are better for certain tracks.
Really? So you have to find the car that matches your driving style.
Exactly. They're not just there to look pretty, they really impact how the game plays.
So much to explore. Sounds like they packed a lot of content into this cartridge.
They really did.
But there's one thing, something that pops up a lot in these reviews, and it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Uh-oh, what's that?
The hit detection. There seems to be an issue.
Ah, the infamous hit detection, yeah.
It's like this weird dark cloud hanging over an otherwise stellar game.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
I've read that even a little bump from an opponent can send you spinning out of control.
Yeah.
While they just drive on like nothing happened.
Like they're made of rubber or something.
Exactly. Is it really that bad?
Sadly, yeah. Reviewers were pretty unanimous on this one.
Yeah.
It just feels unfair, you know? Like the game is punishing you for things that are totally out of your control. And when you're neck and neck with an opponent and suddenly, bam, you're in the wall because they grazed your bumper.
That's got to be infuriating.
Incredibly frustrating.